Define SHM.
It is a type of periodic motion where restoring force on the moving object is directly proportional to act towards the object equilibrium position.
Restoring force is directly proportional to the
object's displacement back.
Okay. Yes, restoring force, or you can say acceleration of the particle, is directly proportional to the displacement but directed away from it. So A proportional to negative of x. So we are going to do the last example of SHM today, that is torsional pendulum, right? So see that. What is a torsional pendulum? You all have studied simple pendulum. Now this is torsional pendulum. Okay, it is simply a disc connected to a string, and the string is not thread in this case. It is usually an elastic fiber, like phosphor bronze fiber, or similar to that. Okay, in this case what happens, that disc is rotated. Disc is given a torque, it is given a twist, so it starts rotating. Okay, it starts rotating, so this type of motion it is having. So this is a torsional pendulum when a disc is connected to a fiber. All right, so when a deflecting torque is given to it, let the deflecting torque be I alpha. Let the deflecting torque given to the disc is I alpha. Tau is equal to I alpha. You know that this is the formula for torque. In the answer, a restoring torque is set up in the disc. So it oscillates like this. Okay. So what is that restoring torque? That restoring torque we can write tau is equal to c theta, where what is c? C is called torsional constant. C is called torsional constant, and it is defined as restoring torque per unit twist. It is defined as restoring torque per unit twist, and theta is that twist. So dimensionally also both the sides they equate. Restoring torque per unit twist into twist. Twist get cancelled and we get restoring torque. Yes. So we can write restoring torque in terms of twist in the fiber, and that is given by c theta. Equating 1 and 2. Left hand side is same, so right hand side should also be the same. And again, since this is restoring torque, let us put a sign negative in front of it. Because in all the above examples also, whenever we had restoring force, we had put a negative sign, because in this case also angular acceleration, in this case acceleration is angular alpha, will be directly proportional to angular displacement theta but directed away from it. So we put a negative sign here. Alpha is minus c by I theta. So since acceleration is directly proportional to minus of angular displacement, this shows that the motion is SHM. This shows that the motion is simple harmonic motion, right? So in this case, again I am telling you, angular acceleration alpha is directly proportional to negative of angular displacement. So in place of a proportional to minus x, we are having alpha proportional to minus theta. So this indicates that its motion is also SHM. So now we are to find the time period of oscillation of torsional pendulum. So again we will use the basic formula for time period in SHM. Remember, it was 2 by root x by a. In place of displacement x, we'll have angular displacement theta. And in place of acceleration a, we are having angular acceleration alpha. So our basic formula also changes accordingly. Put the value of alpha now. C theta by I. Put the value of alpha C theta upon I. Theta gets cancelled and we get T is equal to 2 pi root I by C. So this is your formula for time period of torsional pendulum. T is equal to 2 pi root I by C, where I is moment of inertia and C is restoring distortional constant. Okay, C is torsional constant, which is a characteristic of rotational motion. So this is the expression for time period of torsional pendulum. So all the examples we have done now. All the examples of SHM we have done now. Is that okay? Okay, so next is energy in SHM. So let us now find out how much energy is there in SHM. Energy in SHM. If you remember, so what will be the energy of a particle that is executing simple harmonic motion? Obviously, it will be the sum of kinetic energy on account of its motion and potential energy on account of storing forces acting on it that try to change its position, right? So we are to find kinetic and potential energy, and then we'll find the total energy in SHM. So first of all, if you remember, what was the equation for displacement in SHM? It was y is equal to r sine omega t, and velocity, if you remember, was r omega cos omega t. It was r omega cos omega t. If you put sine omega t from here equal to y upon r here, r omega under root 1 minus sine square omega t. So we did this formula also, if you remember, for velocity in SHM. So this formula, you remember, this was formula for velocity in SHM that we are going to use to find kinetic energy. So how much will be kinetic energy in SHM? Kinetic energy is simply half mv square. So it will be half m, and square it now, omega square into r square minus y square. So this is equation number 2. We have found kinetic energy in SHM. We have calculated kinetic energy in SHM. Now the question is how to find potential energy. You know, whenever we want to find potential energy, we have to do some work. Okay, that work done is stored in the form of potential energy. So in this case, what happens when we bring the object in motion, a restoring force acts, for example, on a spring that tries to bring it back towards the original position, and that tries to restore its original position, I mean to say. Okay, then we want to do work against that restoring force. If work is done against that restoring force, it will be stored in the form of potential energy. Okay, it will be stored in the form of potential energy. So we'll find that work done against the restoring force. You know, F is equal to ma. Okay, writing for restoring force. Restoring force F is equal to ma, and in SHM, acceleration is proportional to x. We have seen in all the examples it is minus omega square x. Okay, so put this value of acceleration here. This we get as force, restoring force. So the small amount of work done in bringing about small displacement against the restoring force. So if we are talking about against the restoring force, means applied force. So applied force is plus of this. So we'll drop the negative sign and we'll write m omega square x dx. Got this? Just we have put f is equal to ma and acceleration is omega square x for shn. So this becomes our expression. We'll find the work done. Integrate both sides to find work done. Integral x dx, you know what is that? Integral x dx is x square by 2. So this work is stored in the form of potential energy and its formula is half m omega square x square. This is equation number 3. This is our equation number 3. So we have found both kinetic energy as well as potential energy. Have a look at this. If you have any doubt, you can raise hand. Yes, any doubt? No? All right. Now put both the expressions in equation number 1 and let's find total energy in SHM. Half m omega square r square minus y square plus half m omega square. अब यहाँ हमने y लिया हुआ है तो यहाँ पे भी y कर लो. एक ही सिंबल ले लेते हैं डिस्प्लेसमेंट के लिए, इधर x और y. सो इट्स बेटर कि यहाँ पे हम चेंज कर लेते हैं y. So the formula is half m omega square y square. Okay. Now open the bracket and solve. This y square term will get cancelled and we will get total energy half m omega square r square. So total energy in SHM is half m omega square r square and you can see this is a constant because in the expression for kinetic energy we had variable displacement y. In potential energy also we had variable displacement y. So these both were variable, you know. But total energy, here what is r? This is amplitude, maximum displacement, which is a constant. So yes, according to law of conservation of energy, total energy of universe always remains a constant. So by putting in values, we can also plot corresponding graph. Let us plot graph also. Let us take energy on y-axis and on x-axis we are taking distance. So at the center, at the origin, we are taking mean position that will show y equal to 0. And suppose this is y is equal to plus r, extreme position, and this is y is equal to minus r, again extreme position. Okay, so distance between mean and extreme positions is r always. We know that. So energy along y-axis and distance from the mean position we have plotted along, displacement we have plotted along the x-axis. Now let us come to potential energy first, right? Let us draw a graph for potential energy. First thing is clear that potential energy and all the energies are proportional to square of displacement. So graph is going to be parabolic, not a straight line. It will be a curved line. So let us put for x equal to 0, y equal to 0 in potential energy formula. So you will see half m omega square 0. Potential energy is 0. So let's mark a point at mean position for y equal to 0 for potential energy. Right. Now at the extreme position, put y equal to plus minus r. So when we put y is equal to plus minus r in the potential energy formula, we get half m omega square r square. That is equal to total energy, maximum energy. So that means at extreme position they have got maximum potential energy. So join all these 3 points, we get variation for graphical variation for potential energy. So this is the corresponding graph for potential energy. Is that clear? Students, is that clear? If there are any doubts, you can ask side by side. Now let's come to kinetic energy. I write the formula again. Kinetic energy is half m omega square r square minus y square. So at mean position, put y equal to 0 in it. Kinetic energy will be maximum here equal to total energy half m omega square r square, which is maximum. So for kinetic energy, we are marking the point corresponding to mean position. Maximum. Okay. Then at extreme positions, put y equal to plus minus r in this formula. Put y is equal to plus minus r. It will be r square minus r square, that will be 0. So kinetic energy is minimum at the extreme positions. We mark 2 points here. And you keep the example of simple pendulum in front of you. At the extreme positions, pendulum bob stops for a moment and then it comes back. So yes, kinetic energy is always 0 there. So to differentiate from potential energy, we'll draw dotted line for it. So this is the graphical variation of kinetic energy. This is graphical variation of kinetic energy. Again, it is parabolic. It's not a straight line, it's parabolic. Now what about total energy? It is always constant, right? So we can draw a straight line showing total energy. So this straight line, that is always a constant, it shows total energy. So this is the variation of energy in SHM and this is the corresponding derivation. See that. All right. So next article is types of oscillations. Types of oscillations or vibrations. So let us cover now. Last topic of oscillations. This is last topic of oscillations. So types of oscillations. There are basically 3 types of oscillations: free, forced, and resonant. Free are also called natural oscillations of any body. Free, forced, and resonant oscillations. These are 3 types of oscillations. Okay. Now, what are free oscillations? Okay. What are free oscillations or natural oscillations of any object which is able to oscillate? For example, we hit a tabla membrane once. एक बार आप तबला मेम्ब्रेन को हिट करते छोड़ देते हो तो कुछ देर वो वाइब्रेट करता है. Soon the oscillations die out and it stops vibrating. तो अपनी नेचुरल फ्रीक्वेंसी से जब वो बॉडी कोई ऑब्जेक्ट जो है वो ऑसिलेट करती है, व्हेन डिस्टर्ब्ड वंस, दैट इज कॉल्ड इट्स नेचुरल ऑसिलेशन. ओके, एंड द फ्रीक्वेंसी इज कॉल्ड नेचुरल फ्रीक्वेंसी, राइट? सेम वे, सपोज यू हैव अ ट्यूनिंग फोक. आप ट्यूनिंग फोक को एक बार वाइब्रेट करके सुनते हो, छोड़ देते हो, तो कुछ देर वाइब्रेट करता है, वो उसकी नेचुरल ऑसिलेशन है. अ चाइल्ड इज स्विंगिंग अ स्विंग, ठीक है, वो अपने आप कुछ पुश करके स्विंग करता है, कुछ देर बाद वो स्विंग स्टॉप हो जाता है, तो दैट इज हिज नेचुरल फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ ऑसिलेशंस, राइट? सो राइट डाउन द डेफिनेशन ऑफ फ्री और नेचुरल ऑसिलेशंस. The oscillations executed by an object The oscillations executed by an object with a definite frequency when disturbed from equilibrium position once. When disturbed from equilibrium position once. So the oscillations executed by an object with a definite frequency, uski bracket mein likh lo natural frequency, when it is disturbed from equilibrium position once. एक बार जब हम उसको equilibrium position से disturb करते हैं, तो जिस frequency से वो अपने आप it executes oscillations on its own, these oscillations are called natural oscillations. So you can write all these examples. Tuning fork, ओके, स्विंग का एग्जांपल दे सकते हो आप, तबला मेम्ब्रेन का एग्जांपल दे सकते हो. सो ऑल दीज आर एग्जांपल्स ऑफ नेचुरल ऑसिलेशंस. नाउ फ्री ऑसिलेशंस मे बी ऑफ टू टाइप्स, डैम्प्ड और अनडैम्प्ड. Damped or undamped. Now what are damped oscillations? If we plot a graph between amplitude and time, then amplitude goes on decreasing. These are damped oscillations. Like in all the examples I gave to you, the amplitude was decreasing with time. Oscillations were dying out after some time. So these were the examples of damped oscillations only. ठीक है, जहाँ पे due to air resistance या due to any type of resistance, the oscillations soon die out such that amplitude gradually decreases to zero. So that amplitude decreases gradually with the time. These oscillations are called damped oscillations, and for these oscillations, energy time graph can be plotted like this. Energy is decreasing continuously. Energy is decreasing in their case with the time. So these are damped oscillations. Damped oscillations that die out or for which amplitude goes on decreasing gradually with time because of some resistance. In most of the cases it is air resistance. तबला membrane के केस में, simple pendulum के केस में भी, simple pendulum को displace करके छोड़ देते हैं, कुछ देर बाद वो रुक जाता है oscillate करके, तो air resistance ही है उस factor में, उस केस में भी. Tuning fork के केस में भी air resistance ही है, ठीक है? So in most of the cases it is resistance due to air. So when the oscillations die out after some time, these types of oscillations are called damped oscillations. Undamped oscillations. Now what are undamped? By the name it is clear. These are the oscillations where amplitude remains constant with the time. Okay, amplitude remains constant with time and energy also becomes constant. In case of undamped oscillations, these are those oscillations for which amplitude remains constant with the time. Amplitude is not decreasing. Amplitude remains constant with time so that energy is also constant. Energy is also constant with time. See that? So can you think of any example of such situation? Can you think of any example where oscillations are not there? It is possible if there is no resistance, there is no loss of energy. All right. For example, if we make a simple pendulum oscillate in vacuum, अगर हम vacuum में उसको simple pendulum को operate कर रहे हैं, तो it will go on oscillating forever because there is no air, there won't be any air resistance, so it will be oscillating forever there. So the oscillations will be undamped in that case. Oscillations will be undamped in that case. So write this example of simple pendulum, right? Okay, so first type is clear to you. Any doubt you can ask? First type is okay, right? Now second is forced oscillations. I give you one practical example. ठीक है, आपका छोटा ब्रदर या छोटी सिस्टर जो है वो स्विंग पे बैठे, ठीक है, वो उससे अपने आप स्विंगिंग नहीं हो रही है, तो व्हाट यू डू यू स्टैंड एट द बैक ऑफ योर ब्रदर और सिस्टर एंड यू गिव अ रेगुलर पुश. जब भी वो स्विंग पीछे आपकी तरफ आता है आप उसको पुश करते हो, होता है ना ऐसे. सो दैट इज व्हाट हैपेंस कि पहले वो जो चाइल्ड स्विंग कर रहा था वो अपनी नेचुरल फ्रीक्वेंसी से स्विंग कर रहा था, ठीक है. जब आप एक फोर्स्ड ऑसिलेटर हो जो पीरियोडिक और रेगुलर वाइब्रेशंस प्रोवाइड कर रहा है एक ऑब्जेक्ट को, तो वो अपनी ऑसिलेशंस डोमिनेट करने की कोशिश कर रहा है, ठीक है. तो बिगिनिंग में एक टसल होगी बिटवीन natural oscillations of the body and forced oscillation that the regular periodic oscillator is providing. तो दोनों में टसल होगी and who will win? That is dominating. उसकी natural oscillations they are dying out. उसकी अपनी oscillations तो die out हो रही because he is not trying hard now. He is dependent upon you. तो जिसकी oscillations dominate कर रही हैं, forced oscillation regularly oscillations provide कर रहा है, तो कुछ देर बाद वो जो ऑब्जेक्ट है उस आउटसाइड फ्रीक्वेंसी से ऑसिलेट करना स्टार्ट कर देगी, उस फोर्स्ड ऑसिलेटर की फ्रीक्वेंसी से ऑसिलेट करना स्टार्ट कर देगी. सो दीज टाइप्स ऑफ ऑसिलेशंस आर कॉल्ड फोर्स्ड ऑसिलेशन. तो कुछ देर बाद वो स्विंग आपकी फ्रीक्वेंसी, आप जो फ्रीक्वेंसी दे रहे हो उससे स्विंग करना स्टार्ट हो जाएगी. तो कैसे पता चलता है? चाइल्ड जो है वो खुद काफी स्लो स्विंग कर रहा था, आपने जब उसको पुश देना स्टार्ट किया तो कितनी फास्ट स्विंग हो गया, इसका मतलब फ्रीक्वेंसी चेंज होगी. सो दीज टाइप्स ऑफ ऑसिलेशंस आर कॉल्ड फोर्स्ड ऑसिलेशन. लिखिए डेफिनेशन फोर्स्ड ऑसिलेशन. सो देयर इज एन एक्सटर्नल पीरियोडिक ऑसिलेटर इन दैट केस. राइट डाउन. The undamped oscillations कैन बी प्रोड्यूस्ड बाय, तो ये एक वे भी है, अनडैम्प्ड ऑसिलेशंस प्रोड्यूस करने का भी एक वे है कि हम उसको रेगुलर फीडबैक देते हैं. उसकी एक बॉडी की अपनी फ्रीक्वेंसी डाई आउट हो रही है, हम उसको एक फीडबैक देते जाएं रेगुलर इंटरवल्स पे, तो वो अनडैम्प्ड ऑसिलेशंस प्रोड्यूस करने में भी हेल्पफुल होगा. राइट. सिंपल बैंडिंग का तो हमने बोल दिया, वैक्यूम में कर लो तो प्रॉब्लम ओवरकम हो जाएगी. स्विंग वाला जो एग्जांपल था उसको हम कंटिन्यू कर रहे हैं, तो इस केस में हम अनडैम्प्ड ऑसिलेशंस कैसे प्रोड्यूस कर सकते हैं. सो लिखिए, द अनडैम्प्ड ऑसिलेशंस कैन बी प्रोड्यूस्ड बाय प्रोवाइडिंग lost energy to the oscillator at regular intervals of time. Or you can say, when a body is acted upon by an external periodic oscillator, it starts vibrating with frequency of that force. The oscillations of the body are called forced oscillations. तो लिख लीजिए definition. When a body is acted upon by an external periodic force या external periodic oscillator, it starts vibrating या oscillating with frequency of that oscillator. It starts oscillating with frequency of that external periodic oscillator. These types of oscillations are called forced oscillations. तो एक एग्जांपल तो स्विंग वाला हो गया. और when the bus passes over a pit, तो इसके जो बस पार्ट्स हैं वो थोड़ा सा शेक करते हैं, उनमें कुछ ऑसिलेशंस होती हैं, ठीक है. तो वो जो रैटलिंग साउंड प्रोड्यूस करते हैं, दैट इज बिकॉज ऑफ फोर्स्ड ऑसिलेशंस प्रोड्यूस्ड थे. तो उनमें फोर्स्ड ऑसिलेशंस प्रोड्यूस हो जाती है. राइट. ये स्विंग का एग्जांपल बेस्ट एग्जांपल है आपका. बाकी द रैटलिंग साउंड प्रोड्यूस्ड बाय द बस पार्ट्स व्हेन इट पासेस ओवर अ पिट, दैट इज कॉल्ड forced oscillation. ठीक है, that is called forced oscillation. Another example I give you. हम आपको लैब में प्रैक्टिकल स्टार्ट होने वाले हैं. We will show you a sonometer. Sonometer is a long wooden box with a hole, two holes, right? So that hole का purpose क्या है कि जब हम उसको oscillate करवाएंगे तो surrounding air also vibrates, so loudness will be more, amplitude of vibration will be more, surrounding air will also vibrate, right? So in that case, what do we do? There is a wire over the sonometer box, and what do? We set a tuning fork into oscillation, both की natural oscillations, and then we keep that tuning fork, stem of that tuning fork on the wooden box. We press the stem of tuning fork against the wooden box sonometer. उसके ऊपर रख देते हैं. उससे क्या होता है? The whole wooden box sonometer, it starts oscillating and the wire also starts oscillating. The oscillations produced in sonometer and sonometer wire, these are forced oscillations. क्योंकि वो ट्यूनिंग फोक की वजह से ऑसिलेट कर रहा है, ये उसकी अपनी फ्रीक्वेंसी नहीं है. The oscillations in the tuning fork, they are natural oscillations of tuning fork, but जब हम उसको उसके ऊपर रख देते हैं बॉक्स के ऊपर, तो the oscillations produced in sonometer wire, these are the examples of forced vibrations. तो ये एग्जांपल भी आप लिख सकते हो. Vibration in sonometer wire when a tuning fork is placed over the sonometer box. These are also forced vibrations. तो ये एग्जांपल आप लिख सकते हो. So forced vibrations are clear to you. In the end, I'll be showing you an illustration where all the three types of oscillations will be clear to you. So by now it's clear. Yes. Yes, students, as of now, it is clear to you the two types of oscillations, free or natural and forced oscillations. Any doubt? Okay, let us move on to the third type, resonant oscillations. You must have heard of the word resonance. Resonance क्या? During opera, आपने loud music की वजह से breaking of glass सुना होगा इसके बारे में. That is resonance. और वो कब होता है? When the frequency matching takes place. अब हो सकता है कि आप उस स्विंग में फोर्स्ड ऑसिलेटर का काम कर रहे हो, ठीक है? पहले भी तो ऑब्जेक्ट अपनी नेचुरल ऑसिलेशन से स्विंग कर रही थी, उसकी ऑसिलेशन स्लो डाउन हो रही थी, डाई आउट हो रही थी, तो यू प्रोवाइडेड द फीडबैक, राइट? बट ऐसा भी तो हो सकता है कि द फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ एक्सटर्नल ऑसिलेटर is already equal to natural frequency of oscillations of the object. अगर आपकी जो oscillations की frequency है उस object की natural frequency के equal हो, पहले से equal हो, match करती हो, तब क्या होगा? Then amplitude of oscillations will become exceptionally large. एकदम से amplitude of oscillations exceptionally large हो जाएगा and we'll say that resonance has taken place. हम कहेंगे कि रेजोनेंस हो रही. So when frequency matching takes place, then amplitude becomes very large and we say this is resonance condition. So write down the definition. What are resonant oscillations or what is resonance? तो लिखिए, the oscillations ऐसे लिखिए, when the frequency of external periodic oscillator, when the frequency of external periodic oscillator matches with the natural frequency of oscillations of an object. When the frequency of oscillations of external periodic oscillator matches with the natural frequency of oscillations of an object, then amplitude of oscillations becomes very large. Amplitude of oscillations becomes very large and resonance is said to have taken place. And resonance is said to have taken place. Resonance is said to have taken place. So these oscillations are called resonant oscillations. I give you one example. वो तो sound के केस में था, breaking of glass due to loud explosion due to opera kinds of music. That is an example of resonance in sound. ठीक है, हाँ यहाँ पे भी आप उसको ले सकते हो, तो लिख लो पहला एग्जाम्पल, ब्रेकिंग ऑफ ग्लास ड्यू टू लाउड एक्सप्लोजन, ब्रेकिंग ऑफ अ ग्लास ड्यू टू लाउड एक्सप्लोजन या ड्यू टू लाउड ओपेरा म्यूजिक। ठीक है, सेकंड एग्जाम्पल, falling of buildings during earthquake,